where small coins bring big smiles and even bigger bucks. Now let me ask you something, have you ever dropped a quarter and thought, it's just 25 cents? Well, you might want to start crawling under the couch cushions because one specific quarter from 1966 with no mint mark is worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 1.5 million. For a quarter. That's 6 million% profit. There's no way an old pocket change coin is worth more than my house. But folks, that's the exciting world of rare coins. You never know when a small metal disc from your junk drawer turns out to be your golden ticket. So buckle up, get comfy, and maybe grab your old coin jar, because today we're diving deep into the story, secrets, and million-dollar mysteries of the 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter. Let's start with the basics. The 1966 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. But by the mid-60s, something big changed, silver disappeared. That's right. Due to rising silver prices, 1965 marked the beginning of the end for silver quarters. The U.S. Mint switched from 90% silver to a clad composition, copper-nickel sandwich coins, as some collectors like to call them. Now here's the twist. During this transitional time, the U.S. Mint also removed all mint marks from coins. That means 1966 quarters have no mint mark even if they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. The goal was to discourage coin hoarding, but that decision, believe it or not, led to one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. Drumroll please. It's a combination of three rare features: a flawless off-metal strike, meaning it was accidentally struck on a 90% silver planchet instead of the copper-nickel clad. A pristine MS68 plus grade. Basically the coin equivalent of having zero wrinkles at 60. And an extremely low survival rate, less than a handful are known to exist, only one specimen. With all three of these features has surfaced in the market and collectors lost their minds. That's how it reached a current estimated value of $1.5 million, imagine that. One little quarter that dodged the silver purge and survived decades without being scratched up in someone's jean pocket. It's basically a miracle on metal. Now let me share something personal. A couple years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He's one of those old school guys who keeps every receipt, every bolt, every broken lawnmower from the Nixon era. We're going through this dusty tackle box full of screws and batteries, and at the bottom, I find this jar labeled Vegas money. Inside, a bunch of old coins, including quarters, dimes, and even a couple wheat pennies. I flip over this one grimy quarter and I see 1966. I kid you not, I held my breath. No mint mark. Clean strike. Could it be? Turns out it wasn't the $1 million version. Still cool, but not the jackpot. But that moment, man, the adrenaline rush, I got hooked on coins ever since. You just never know what you're holding until you check. That's why I always say, don't spend it till you flip it. Now, if you're going to hunt for the real $1 million quarter, you gotta know what to look for. Silver planchets weigh 6.25 grams, while clad ones weigh 5.67 grams. A good scale will save you hours of guessing. Tap it. Silver coins have a high-pitched ring, while clad coins sound dull. It's not exact science, but helpful. Silver quarters don't have that copper sandwich look. The edge should be solid silver. The $1 million quarter is nearly perfect. If yours has a bunch of scratches or dings, it's likely not the jackpot, but still could be worth a few hundred. If you think you found something promising, take it to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. Authentication is key. That's what turns a shiny quarter into cold, hard millions. Let's talk real numbers. The highest graded 1966 no mint mark quarter known to exist was sold in a private auction for nearly $1.5 million. But even lesser known variations, like off-center strikes or planchet errors, can sell for $5,000 to $10,000 depending on condition. One guy found a slightly off-center 1966 quarter in his dad's cigar box. He had it graded MS66 with a 10% off-center strike, sold it for $7,800. Not bad for pocket change. Another collector snagged one at a flea market for $1 and flipped it on eBay for over $12,000. The seller had no clue what they were holding. Just goes to show, education pays off. Literally. Let's take a minute to clear up some myths. Not every 1966 quarter with no mint mark is rare. In fact, most are not. It's the rare error types, silver planchets, double dies, off-center strikes, and top-grade uncirculated pieces that are worth serious money. Avoid polishing your coin to make it shinier, that drops the value. Don't store it in a plastic baggie in your basement. Use protective coin holders or capsules, and please don't believe every internet listing claiming a coin is super rare unless it's authenticated. Scammers are out there. Know your facts. The 1966 no-mint Mark Washington quarter is more than just another coin. It's a potential treasure hiding in plain sight. Whether you're a lifelong collector or just someone cleaning out grandma's attic, knowing what to look for could change your life. Literally, this coin proves that even after 50+ years in circulation, surprises still pop up. That little piece of metal in your change jar could be the very one that turns your story into the next $1 million headline. So here's your challenge. After this video, grab your old coins. Look for 1966 quarters. Weigh them. Examine the edges. And if you find something that matches what we've talked about, well, you know where to find me. And don't forget to send me a thank you card when you're rich. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. We've got more coin secrets, value breakdowns, and hidden treasures coming your way. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you think you might have one now. And remember, folks, in the world of coins, even 25 cents can make you a millionaire. You ever drop a quarter in the vending machine and later wish you'd just held on to it? Well, today's story might just have you flipping your couch cushions, checking your glove box, and digging through that old jar of change you keep by the door. Because hidden in plain sight, one particular quarter has been making some very big noise. I'm talking about the 1999p Connecticut State quarter. Yeah, the one with the big old tree on the back. Looks innocent enough, right? Well, this little 25-cent piece has been known to sell for up to $1.7 million, you heard me. $1.70, with 5 zeros behind it. So grab a coffee, sit back, and get ready to find out how a pocket-sized piece of history could become your ticket to financial freedom. I'll even tell you the mistakes most people make when looking for it and how to avoid getting ripped off by shady coin dealers. Plus, I'll share a little story about how my buddy Joe almost tossed one of these quarters into a parking meter. It still haunts him. Let's rewind to 1999. Y2K panic was in the air, everyone had dial-up internet, and the US Mint launched the 50-state quarters program. Connecticut was the 5th quarter released in the series. The Connecticut quarter features the charter oak, a legendary tree tied to the state's history. Nice design. But what makes the 1999p version so valuable? It's the mint mark. That little P tells you it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. But not all 1999p Connecticut quarters are created equal. Some have rare errors. And it's those errors that collectors go absolutely bananas over. It comes down to a few things: condition, rarity, and those lovely little mistakes we call minting errors. Some Connecticut quarters show doubling in the words United States of America or E pluribus unum. You'll need a magnifying glass, but when you spot it, jackpot. These are quarters that were stamped out of alignment. If it looks like it had one too many at the mint, you might be in business. If your quarter looks like it's had a bite taken out of it, that's not damage, that might be a mint error. And a valuable one at that. Combine one of those errors with pristine condition, what collectors call MS68 or higher, and you've got a quarter that's worth more than most cars. Joe's a retired plumber. Loves fishing, hates technology, and he's got a big old Folgers can full of change on top of his fridge. One day we're walking downtown and he pulls out a quarter to feed a parking meter. I caught a glimpse of it and yelled wait, like I was jumping on a live grenade. It was a 1999 Connecticut quarter. I flipped it over and there it was, the Philadelphia Mint mark, a beautiful off-center strike, and crisp detail. We didn't pay the meter. We paid a visit to a coin appraiser instead. Long story short, the thing was worth about $12,000. Not the $1 million jackpot, but hey, not bad for almost feeding a meter. Alright, let's talk strategy. You don't need to be a professional coin dealer to spot a $1 million quarter. But you do need to know what to look for. Look for the P mint mark under the word "In God We Trust" on the front of the coin. Flip that bad boy over. Check the charter oak design. Any signs of doubling in the text? That's a good sign. Examine the edges and overall centering. If it looks a little wonky in a good way, you may have a valuable off-center strike. Condition, condition, condition. If it's beat up, scratched, or looks like it's been through a blender, it's probably not worth much. But a clean, shiny quarter with no wear? That could be gold. Figuratively, of course. Now, if you think you've got one of these quarters, don't rush off to eBay just yet. You need a professional coin grading service to take a look. PCGS and NGC are the two big ones in the US. They'll assign your coin a grade, authenticate it, and help you get it listed in a serious auction, not just your cousin Jerry's Facebook Marketplace page. Rarity of the era. Mint state grade, MS65 to MS70 is the sweet spot. Demand from collectors now. Remember, even without errors, a perfectly preserved 1999p Connecticut quarter can still fetch hundreds or thousands. But the true $1 million value comes from the trifecta: rare, error, mint state, and scarcity. It's sad but true. Most people see a quarter and think, 25 cents. That's it. They don't know the difference between a coin and a treasure. That's why coin dealers make a killing, because they know what they're looking at. It from now on, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Don't clean the coin. That drops the value faster than a bowling ball off a rooftop. Don't take it to a pawn shop. They'll offer you lunch money. Don't trust random online buyers unless you're going through a certified auction or platform. Protect your coin. Store it in a safe case. Get it graded. And then let the bidding war begin. Other valuable state quarters to keep an eye on: 2004 D Wisconsin with the extra leaf error, 2005 Minnesota with the double tree lines, 1999 Georgia with off-center strike, but the Connecticut 1999p? That's the one everyone wants. It's the king of early state quarters. The 1999p Connecticut quarter. A tiny coin with massive value. You never know what's sitting in your pocket, buried in a drawer, or hiding in grandma's cookie jar. Could be a $1.7 million coin. And now, you know exactly what to look for. If you find one, drop me a comment. I'll be the guy jumping up and down with you. Before you head off to check your change jar, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos every week showing you what coins to look for, what they're worth, and how to sell them smart. We turn pocket change into potential paydays. Now listen up, because what I'm about to say might just make you spill your coffee. Imagine walking into a gas station, picking up a soda, handing over a few quarters, and unknowingly giving away one worth $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, 1.8 million. That's the kind of thing that keeps coin collectors up at night. And today we're diving headfirst into the world of the 2001p Mint Mark North Carolina state quarter. It's not just another shiny disc in your junk drawer. No sir, this one could make you richer than your cousin Larry, who thinks he's killing it with his crypto investments. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and shaking out your kids' piggy bank, stick with me, because I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, from what makes this coin so valuable to the little known signs that yours might be one of the few rare ones. And I'll even tell you a wild personal story about the time I thought I struck gold. Turns out I was half right. Let's get into it. So first things first, let's talk about what this coin actually is. The 2001 North Carolina state quarter was the 12th coin released in the 50 state quarters program. You know, that beautiful design on the back showing the Wright brothers' first flight at Kitty Hawk, that iconic image of the biplane taking off with Orville and Wilbur doing their thing in the early 1900s. That quarter represents innovation, courage, and a little bit of wind, if we're being honest. Now, the P Mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, and while millions of these were produced, only a small fraction have the special characteristics that make them worth serious money. Most of them are worth, well, 25 cents, but a few of them, and I do mean FEW, have errors and conditions so rare that collectors will shell out over $1 million for them. And in one shocking auction, a nearly flawless 2001p North Carolina quarter sold for $1.8 million. Let me say that again, because it's worth repeating. A single quarter sold for almost $2 million. Alright, so what sets this coin apart? What makes one of these worth more than a sports car or even a small house? It all comes down to a combination of factors. Some coins have striking errors like double die up versus off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or misaligned dies. On certain 2001p North Carolina quarters, there are known double die errors where you can see ghost-like duplications on the lettering or in the details of the right flyer. Others have been found with what's called a cut error. That's a die break that leaves a lump of metal where there shouldn't be one. Collectors go absolutely nuts for these types of flaws, just like in real estate. Condition is everything in coin collecting. The top graded coins fall into what's called MS67 or higher. MS stands for mint state, and the scale goes up to 70. A 2001p North Carolina quarter graded MS67 or MS68 is incredibly hard to come by. Most coins get scratched, beat up, or tarnished through years of circulation, but if you have one in pristine, Condition you're looking at big bucks. The Wright brothers aren't just a couple of guys with funny hats, they're pioneers, and this coin celebrates that. Spirit collectors love coins with historical significance, and the North Carolina design taps into that perfectly. Add in the fact that many folks from North Carolina or aviation enthusiasts want this coin for sentimental reasons, and suddenly you've got demand out the wazoo. Let's talk real numbers for a second, because you might be thinking, come on man, who's really going to pay that much for a coin in 2021? Near perfect 2001 P North Carolina quarter graded MS68 sold for over $780,000, but the big daddy sale happened in 2024. An ultra-rare error coin with a combination of a die crack, a double die reverse, and flawless surfaces went for $1.8 million. That's not hype, that's on record. Alright, time for a quick personal story. So about a year ago I am cleaning out my late uncle's coin jar, you know, one of those giant plastic jugs that used to hold cheese balls. Anyway, I'm sorting through it and bam, there it is, a 2001 North Carolina quarter with a shiny sheen and the Wright brothers plain looking like it's about to take off the coin. My heart started pounding. I grabbed a magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes on a mission, checked for doubling on the text, looked for die breaks, even measured the weight on a little kitchen scale I bought for measuring coffee beans. Turns out it was in decent shape, but not $1 million shape, still worth about $90 though, and hey, that paid for dinner that night. Moral of the story, always check your change because you never know. Make sure it's a P for Philadelphia, no scratches, no discoloration nowhere. Look closely at the lettering. Is the word Carolina double? Does the plane look slightly off? Any weird blobs of metal or missing details? Those are signs you've got something rare. Use a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass. Even better, take it to a coin dealer or submit it to PCGS or NGC for grading. If you think you've got something special, don't just toss it in a drawer, protect it. Get a plastic flip or hard coin capsule. Avoid touching it with bare hands. Use gloves if possible and keep it in a dry place away from humidity. Go through a reputable dealer or auction house. Avoid those sketchy online buyers who offer you $20 and a pat on the back. Alright folks, we've come a long way from Kitty Hawk to coin shops, from soda machines to $1 million auctions. The 2001 P North Carolina quarter is proof that treasure can be hiding right under your nosy. It's not just a piece of change, it's a piece of history and potentially a ticket to a new lifestyle. So here's your homework, check your pockets, dig through that coin jar, ask your grandma if she's got any old quarters lying around. You never know when you might stumble onto a small fortune disguised as spare change. If you found this video helpful or even just entertaining, smash that like button, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video about coins that could change your life. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where ordinary pocket change might just make you extraordinarily rich. Today we're diving into a story that'll have you checking your coin jar faster than a kid checks for cookies in grandma's kitchen. We're talking about a little silver beauty that's turning heads and dropping jaws across the country. The 1999 P Connecticut State Quarter, yeah, that one with the big old tree on it, has been valued at an unbelievable $1.90 million. I kid you not. Now, before you go digging through your couch cushions or flipping your laundry machines upside down, stick around because we're going to break down why this coin is worth that much, what makes it special, how you can tell if you've got one, and of course I'll share a little story of how I nearly gave away a fortune without even knowing it. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's get into this cointastic tale. Alright, so let's rewind the clock back to 1999. I know it feels like it was just yesterday. We were all stressing about Y2K and listening to boy bands on our Walkmans, but something big happened in the world of coins. The US Mint launched the 50 state quarters program, and the Connecticut quarter was the fifth coin released that year, minted to honor the Constitution state. Now this coin features the charter oak, an enormous white oak tree that's a symbol of American independence. If you've ever seen one of these quarters, you know it's a pretty detailed design. A massive tree with intricate bark and branches that spread like gossip in a small town. So you're probably thinking, okay, I've seen this quarter in my change, what's so special about it? Well, here's the deal, most of these coins are only worth 25 cents, maybe a couple bucks if they're in mint condition, but, and this is a big but, some of these coins were struck with minting errors that make collectors go wild, where the front image appears to be doubled, the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, where the coin is missing the outer layer revealing the copper core, and here's the big one. Extremely high-grade coins in pristine uncirculated condition, graded MS69 or MS70 by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Now here's the kicker, one of these 1999 P Connecticut quarters was found to have a rare strike-through error combined with an unusually crisp high-grade strike, and it sold privately for $1.9 million. Yes, I said it again because it still shocks me even now. This wasn't just any old coin from your local laundromat. This was a flawless specimen that made history. Now you're probably ready to go coin diving at this point, but before you start flipping quarters at the gas station, let me show you what to look for. That's for Philadelphia. It's found just under the words "In God We Trust." Use a magnifying glass, look for any doubling of the branches or the text. If you see that doubling, bingo, you may have a double die. Is the image centered? Is the coin clean, smooth, and free of dings, or wear? If it Looks like it just came from the mint. You may be in luck. A real quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If it's way off, that could mean something went wrong during the minting process. And that could mean big bucks. Send your coin to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll inspect it, and if it comes back with a top-tier grade, you could be looking at a fortune. Alright, story time. So a few years ago, I'm cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the one with batteries from 1998, rubber bands, a calculator with no buttons. Anyway, I come across a Ziploc bag full of quarters. I almost tossed it in the Coinstar at the grocery store, but something stopped me. I thought maybe I should check them out first, so I sat down, popped open a soda, and started going through them one by one, just enjoying the nostalgia. Then boom, I see the shiny 1999 Connecticut quarter with a weirdly bold tree. I look closer. There's some doubling on the letters. I kid you not, my hands started shaking. I rushed over to my laptop, looked up. The error, and my jaw hit the floor. It looked just like one of the coins being sold online for thousands, sent it off for grading, thinking, hey, maybe this is my retirement plan. Came back as MS-66. Not $1 million, but still worth a few $100s. Not bad for something that was almost dumped in a Coinstar, right? Moral of the story: always check your change. So how do you increase your chances of finding coins like these? Go to your local bank and ask for rolls of quarters. Sort through them for rare coins. You can return the rest and keep the good ones. People don't always know what they've got. You can find jars full of old coins for next to nothing. Watch the trends, stay up to date with what collectors are looking for. Knowledge is your greatest tool. The more you know about coin grading, the easier it is to spot potential winners. Facebook groups, Reddit threads, even your local coin club, these places are goldmines of knowledge and tips. So what did we learn today, my fellow treasure hunters? That little Connecticut quarter you've probably overlooked 100 times might just be your ticket to the good life. A rare minting error, an immaculate finish, a bit of luck, and suddenly you're sitting on a $1.9 million coin. Now imagine if you accidentally spent it on a soda. That'd haunt you forever. So take this as your sign. Start looking through your change, your piggy bank, your glove box. Dig into those old jars hiding in the garage. You never know when fortune might be staring back at you from a quarter in. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something new or just had a good laugh, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you don't miss out on more money-making coin tips. We're uncovering more hidden treasures every week, and I want you right there with me. Thanks for hanging out today. Stay curious, stay lucky, and as always, check your change. Hey folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever paid for a cup of coffee with pocket change and accidentally given away $1 million? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the wild story of the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. At first glance, it's just a shiny little piece of metal with a cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn on it. Nothing too exciting. But some of these little fellas are hiding a secret that can make you a millionaire. That's right. A single Wisconsin quarter from 2004 with a small minting error is now valued at up to $1 million on the collector's market. You could be walking around with one of these in your pocket right now, and you'd never even know it. So grab a cup of coffee, or better yet, a magnifying glass, and let's break down exactly why this quarter is worth such an absurd amount of money, how to spot one, and how I once almost spent one by accident. True story. So let's rewind the clock to 2004. The U.S. Mint launched the Wisconsin State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. The design? A tribute to America's Dairyland. You got the cow, cheese, and corn all front and center. Moo-worthy indeed, but here's the kicker: some quarters minted in Philadelphia, that's what the little P means under the word liberty, had something extra on them. And by extra, I mean a freaking leaf. Yup, a tiny, extra leaf on the ear of corn. Now hang with me. There are three versions of the Wisconsin quarter: the normal one with a plain corn stalk, the low leaf error, where an extra leaf droops below the corn; the high leaf error, where a leaf sticks out high, just above the husk. These weren't part of the original design. Somewhere during production, an extra leaf got engraved on the die, and boom, history was made. It's believed that either a rogue mint employee added them on purpose or it was a good old-fashioned factory flub. Either way, collectors went bananas. Now you're probably wondering, how the heck does a little corn leaf turn 25 cents into $1 million? So here's how it works. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about rarity, demand, and condition. The high leaf and low leaf varieties are insanely rare, especially in pristine uncirculated condition. There are believed to be only a few thousand floating around, and some collectors are shelling out big bucks to complete their error quarter sets. Most sell between a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on condition. But here's where it gets wild. A perfect, uncirculated 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the high leaf variety was auctioned off for nearly $1 million by a high-end private collector who wanted to own one of the rarest errors in state quarter history. It might still be sitting in someone's change jar, glove compartment, or wedged between the couch cushions. Alright, now let's get practical. If you're about to run to the kitchen and dump out your change bowl, hold on a second. Let me show you what to look for first. Make sure it's a 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the P mint mark. Next, flip it over and inspect the coin. Use a magnifying glass or zoom on your phone camera. On the high leaf version, there's a small leaf poking up above the left side of the coin's husk. Looks like it's trying to escape. On the low leaf version, there's a leaf drooping down under the husk. Almost like the coin had a tough day. If your quarter has one of these extra leaves, you could be holding something worth thousands, maybe even up to $1 million, if it's in perfect condition and authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I had a habit of saving change in this old Folgers coffee can. Don't ask me why. One day I decided to cash it all in at the coin machine. I stood there like a zombie feeding quarters into the slot, not thinking much about it. Later that night, I was reading an article online, just like this video, and it said, check your 2004 Wisconsin quarters. My stomach dropped. I raced back to the store, hoping to dig through the Coinstar like a madman. Spoiler alert, no luck, but ever since that day, I've been checking every single quarter that crosses my path. And let me tell you, coin hunting has become my new guilty pleasure. It's like treasure hunting, but you don't need a map, just sharp eyes and patience. First, don't spend it. Seriously. Don't toss it into a vending machine for a pack of gum. Second, get it authenticated. Submit it to a reputable grading company, PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. They'll tell you if it's real, what variety it is, and assign it a grade based on condition. Not if it comes back mint state or near perfect. Congratulations, you've got a potential jackpot. From there, you can either auction it through a high-end numismatic site, list it on eBay, or connect with a private collector. Just be cautious. There are lots of scams out there. Get professional help if you're unsure, and remember, even if it's not the $1 million unicorn, these error coins can still bring in several $1,000s. Not bad for a piece of pocket change. What started as a plain old quarter in 2004 is now turning heads and emptying change jars across America. If you're someone who loves the idea of turning old coins into cold, hard cash, or you just enjoy weird history and hidden treasures, this channel is your new best friend. I break down coin values, tell collector stories, and teach you how to flip pocket change into serious profit. So if you've got a drawer full of coins, don't ignore it. That Wisconsin quarter could change your life. Before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Or maybe you're checking your change right now.